Hi guys, I'm Timi.
And I'm Bev.
Welcome to
The Girls Group Pod. We finally do it. We're finally recording. It's so funny, so many of our friends in church have come up to us being like, guys,
when is it starting?
Like you made this account a while ago.
We made it like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
On
on a Facebook call.
overnight, everything, graphics, like we were just like, let's do it. And to be honest, we have a really cute logo. I really like our logo. Yeah.
Honestly.
I can't wait till we start getting merch, like putting things on everything.
That'd be so cute.
Yeah, I'd like it.
But I feel like we have not forgotten. We never forgot.
Yeah.
Just life.
Life was lifing. Life is still lifing.
Life is still lifing. Do you want to open up about this?
No, I don't. We're so excited.
So excited.
Yeah.
And I really feel like the Lord is impressing things on our hearts to talk about and to get into. So I'm really excited to be obedient to him.
And I get to do this with my best friend, guys.
I
love Bev so much.
Literally, should we just talk about how much we love each other?
Okay, this is the introduction.
No, I genuinely Timmy is one of those people who it's really, when the Lord gives you implants in your heart love for someone, it's I don't know, because I feel we'd always say when we first met we got along,
but we kept our distance from each other,
we weren't
besties.
Yeah, but I always thought you were cool, so nice, but we never clicked. And then we did our church encounter year, which is kind of
but before then something happened.
Do you not think it was during the encounter year?
I think it was during the encounter year.
Or was it when we were both going through
we went through breakups at the same time?
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it was something because going through that valley.
Yeah.
Because I feel that was when I first started to know you more. We spent so much time together.
Did I have a sleepover? Was that, or did I just go home really late?
I think you went home really late mostly.
Okay.
But we would just be in the pits, kind of thinking Lord, is there any way?
Honestly.
Through this?
Yeah.
But then he brought us to, and then he brought us close together, because then we got a prophetic word.
Yeah, but which was so weird, by the way, because we got a prophetic word before we were in the season. So we heard it, and we were both like, I love her, but
we're not that close.
Yeah.
And the prophetic word was basically our friend, essentially saying that our friendship was destined by the Lord to bring us together to glorify him, and it was a 3-stranded cord, and I think we were both
yeah. Wait, that was also the time where something was going on during that time as well, because we weren't the closest, but then we were also
we were getting closer though.
I think I
was going through a really dark. And then I remember you being such a light in that time, and you were so patient with me and so there for me. So I think something was happening then. I don't think it'd taken full form.
For me, Bev is she's a sister to me, and it's very rare that I see my friends as actual family. But Bev just she opened up a part of my heart that I didn't know I had. And I've had trauma with certain friendships. I had a really toxic best friend in my childhood, and I felt Bev healed that for me, just showing me what it looks like to have godly friends who pray for you, who actually pray for you. Literally, when I was going through the valley, she would pray for me. There have been times where we've cried together, and times where she's felt my heaviness, and she's no, I'm gonna pray for you, you're not gonna take this to your room and cry and not eat for 2 weeks.
Oh, my days.
But I know that she's a friend for life, because she's a friend who's been with me in different seasons. She's not only there to celebrate, but she's there to mourn. She's there to laugh, to have fun, and to pray, and to tarry when needed, but also to lift me up, and to also call me when I'm being cheeky, because I can be difficult sometimes. And
no, you're lovely. Why are we doing this pod, Timmy? Why are we doing it?
I mean, God's put it on our hearts for a long time, and we're both in this leadership position, I guess, in church, with our community group, right? And it's called Girls Group. but that has nothing to do with this podcast. I think we just thought that the name was just so timely.
I think it's definitely like you were saying. I think when we started the community group in our local, like in our home church, I feel like we didn't know what we were doing, but we knew it was what the Lord had told us to do. And I think similarly with this podcast, even the reason why we gave it the name is we just want this podcast to just be a community, like where, because like we don't know what we're doing in terms of we are literally walking out our 20s, walking out what it looks like to like love the Lord and walk with him in intimacy through the highs, the lows, the valleys. And the girls group pod, I feel like the name just came from like, well, we're a couple of girls, and we just want it to be a community, but not only for girls, like guys can listen to this
you
as
can
well.
be in this too. I know some of you follow us.
And you're so welcome. Like, we're so happy.
So
welcome. I struggle with we're so happy. No, honestly, we're so happy to have you here. Everyone is welcome.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I think as well in this podcast, I mean, like, yeah, we're a community of girls who love Jesus. That's so important. Like, we are Christians, we believe in God, believe in Jesus, but we also want to be like an open space or conversations where we feel like aren't really had in, like, you know, like settings like this. And like we want to talk about things that maybe some people are a bit too scared to talk about, because I think one thing I love about Bev is she's really direct. And I'm very direct. And sometimes we say this thing called like Frank and Lampard.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you just need to be Frank and Lampard. Or like to be Frank and Lampard. And it's just to be frank.
Yeah, just to be honest.
Just to be honest.
Because we sometimes, like, as Christians, as people, can beat around the bush so much with like really important things. Yeah. And I think there's something about truth with love.
Yeah.
Like, obviously we can't just be like telling the truth like without the love, like that's just mean. But I think actually just like you said, Timi, having a space where we can speak about the things that matter, speak about the things that we're actually going through.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it can feel like when you're walking through something, whatever it is, because it's not a thing that people talk about, you can actually feel like it's just you.
Yeah.
And you could feel like, you know, a second-rate Christian and a second-rate person.
Yeah.
But because people aren't talking about it, but actually like we are all walking through the same things. That's why God gave us the Bible. Yeah. Like, it's literally like, it's a text filled with things. Like, it's like the Lord, it's like a love letter from God saying, look at what the people before you've gone through and what I did with them. So in the same way, I will come through for you, you know?
Yeah.
Over the past like 3 or so years, like, the Lord has been so kind and really walked both of us on like a journey of freedom and healing and wholeness. And it's really interesting because I feel like, I'd say for myself, when I was embarking on this journey of healing, I didn't even know how much stuff the Lord needed to unpack. And I'm still, like, it's still the same now. Like, he's always like, no, there's more, there is more, there is more. And I think my hope would be like that this pod would just be a place where, you know, when you're listening, if you're listening, you just feel so like seen and like that you would experience the love of God, you would experience his presence, you would you would experience the relentlessness of it. So I feel like the verse that was really on both of our hearts for this pod was Matthew 5.
We're in Mark though. Matthew reads Mark.
Okay. Yeah, so the verse that was on both
# women in ministry. This girl can.
This girl can. Guys, I had a moment where I got my M's mixed up. Does that happen to anyone else? So Matthew 5:14. Okay. You are the light of the world, like a city on a hilltop that cannot be hidden. No one lights a lamp and puts it under a basket. Instead, a lamp is placed on a stand where it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your good deeds shine out for all to see, so that everyone will praise your heavenly Father. And I think that's it. That just encapsulates everything. Like, we are so thankful for like the fact that the Lord has changed us and we're not the people that we were.
One thing you know about me and Bella, like, we're actually really strange. I'm actually kind of I was really nervous to start this pod because, like, this is so real. and it's so revealing. And
my gosh.
me and Bev are not normal people. So to everyone who thinks we're normal, like, this pod is going to be really revealing of our strangeness.
Oh my goodness. I'm not sure if I'm prepared for that.
I'm not prepared to show the world.
We're actually begging it. We're so
No one actually cares.
No one cares.
No one cares.
No one gives.
We literally
a
will be like, we
toss.
can't even go to shops anymore to buy milk.
Oh,
Like, me and Sainsbury's, like, guys,
please,
like, stop looking at me. Everyone knows.
No, stop. This pod, like, we literally, I feel like this podcast is for our friends.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's going to be our friends that are listening to this pod.
Yeah, no, it will be.
Like,
and
really,
our family, our mums.
and our family, yeah,
mums,
and our
our
mums.
We Oh, guys, we hope you've enjoyed the first episode.
Minisode.
But that wasn't really an outro.
Okay. Honestly, thank you for listening to our first minisode.
Or watching.
Or watching.
Our first minisode.
We love you a lot.
Do we? That's a really strong word. I was going to do the same thing.